Good evening, little ghost. This is ALB speaking. We're calling you all the way from Whisperland today because you indicated via button clicking that you would be interested in receiving a gentle autumnal survey call. Is that correct? Wonderful. Yes, well, welcome to our very special holiday hotline. This year we've decided to add a little pumpkin spice to our calls. So all of today's questions will be entirely themed around the wonderful holiday of Halloween. From now on, at any time, you can call us and choose our themed survey call. Simply be sure to choose Halloween when our survey menu option comes up. Yep. So just like you did prior to reaching this directory, you can select Whisperland survey and then hit 3 and then choose Halloween. Yeah, it's easy to remember. It's pretty neat, isn't it? Extra spooky, all treats, but no tricks. So no need to worry about getting scared, okay? Yes. What a wonderful way to celebrate this season of autumn. On top of being fun, it's helpful for us. We're collecting information about Halloween for our database. It's ever expanding, and we appreciate the mutually beneficial opportunity of getting to learn more about you through our relaxing surveys. So, have you ever used our service before? Oh, okay, that's great. Well, if you find yourself drifting through the wind, like a crinkly autumn leaf during today's call, feel no obligation to answer. I'll be here chatting on the line with you the whole time. Well, firstly, if you don't mind, can I collect some general information about you? Lovely. Thank you so much. One moment here. I just need to pull up a few of the correct forms. Yes, our system is pretty respondent, but it still takes time like anything else. Okay, here we go. I've got the correct surveys loaded up here. Thanks for your patience. Okay, so what should I call you? Okay, and what country are you from? Okay. And what age do you imagine you would like to be if you were in a fairy tale? Oh, it's not that strange a question. For example, you could be young and curious and full of adventure, or older and wiser and have all the answers. There are so many good fairy tale archetypes too. Don't think too seriously about it. It's all in good fun. Great. Yep, I've got it all written down here. Alright, so as I said earlier, today's questions are particularly themed for your spooky enjoyment. So let's hocus pocus and refocus. I'm wondering, do you usually dress up for Halloween? Oh, okay. Do you think there's a certain costume you would do if you had, like, let's say, unlimited resources? Oh, wow. Uh-huh. Yeah, that would be amazing. Would you make all of the matching props as well? Yeah, or maybe just buy them. We did say unlimited resources, didn't we? Okay, this is great. Thank you for this. Here's another one. What's your favorite costume you've ever worn? No, not just for Halloween. Oh, wow. That sounds amazing. What made you choose that one? Uh-huh. I'm taking note of this here for myself. Whenever I need to think of good costume ideas, I get so stuck, but you've really got a knack for the unexpected. I like that. I need to think more like you next time. Alright. Would you say that you prefer goofy costumes or beautiful costumes? Yeah, those aren't exactly the only two genres of costumes. They're scary ones too. But I find those two tend to be a little more popular, at least according to our records they are. But I'll let you decide between the three, actually. Do you prefer goofy, scary, or beautiful costumes? Okay. Yes, that totally tracks for you. Very in line with some of the other answers we have in your file. Well, nice to know you're a very consistent sort of person. Alrighty. So, is Halloween your favorite holiday? Oh, really? Now, why is that, I wonder? Gotcha. That's really interesting. I hadn't heard that before. Yes, I'm totally serious. It's a unique sort of answer. Okay, let's move on to the next section. Let me just finish adding in this answer. And it's done. Okay. Would you say that you prefer sweet or salty snacks? Oh, I see. Yes, well, for me it can depend on the situation. Sometimes I like a piece of chocolate after dinner. It can be a nice little flavor change, you know. But in terms of snack foods in general, I usually go for the salty, savory kinds of snacks. Especially with cheese. Like a nacho cheese. You know, like the kind they have at like movie theater or bowling alley or roller rink. That's my favorite. But candy is great too. Some of my favorite are chewy candies. I love those sour chewy ones. Fruit flavored candies with dusted sugar coating. So good. They can be a little tart too, which is nice. And do you like those? How about bubblegum? Do you ever find yourself reaching for that? Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense. I'll be sure to make note of that. Have your favorite sweets and snacks changed since you were a young child? Or have your tastes pretty much stayed the same? Oh, isn't that interesting? Right, so why do you think that could be? That's true. You do get to try many different treats and foods now that you're older. But maybe your core interests and tastes are consistent. We're changing all the time, aren't we? But we're still us at the end of the day. Yeah, I wonder if I'll still love nacho cheese in like 10 years or 50 years. Will I still be eating nacho cheese at the movie theater in 50 years? I have to wonder. Oh, sorry. I'm getting a little off track. It is fascinating, though. Okay, next question here. If you had to be a classic Halloween monster for one day, which would you like to be? Yeah, so like the classics are usually a werewolf, a vampire, a witch, Frankenstein, Swamp Thing, and a mummy. No, not like a mom, silly. Oh, you were just kidding. You totally got me. Yes, the kind of mummy that's all wrapped up in bandages. Well, yeah, Dracula counts, but just any vampire, really. Those are the kind of classic Halloween monster archetypes. When you think about what you see on decorations, in TV shows or movies, those are kind of the reoccurring themes because they're classic, right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, which would you want to be? Oh, yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah, that's a popular choice. What's kind of your, thought process behind that one? Right. Well, I mean, most of those monster choices are kind of ageless and live forever when you think about it, right? So, it's not exclusive to that one. I get your point, though. It's a good feature. But we're only spending a day as that monster. So, that's not going to be something you reap the benefits of. Right. Well, anyway, I'll mark that down as your top pick. Great. We are filling this section out. Perfect. Now, next up, do you have any favorite Halloween movies or autumn movies? Yeah, honestly, for so many of us, they kind of take up the same space in our brains, right? Yeah. Of those ones that instantaneously come to your mind, are there any that stick out as favorites? Uh-huh. Oh, I love that one. Yeah, I just watched it as well. It's actually very heartwarming, don't you think? I watched it with all the lights out, but I had a bunch of little lanterns lit and some pumpkin decorations that light up too. Created such a nice ambiance for enjoying that movie. If you get a chance, I totally recommend watching it again with those surroundings. Yeah, it made me feel like I was really in the movie. Do you ever do that? Rewatch the same holiday movie during this time of year? Oh, I get that. Oh, I definitely get that. There's some that I can do it with, like Over the Garden Wall, for example. But some others, I just want to watch them once per year. Otherwise, it gets a little monotonous. Still, nice to revisit, though. Any other favorites? Wow, it's been ages since I've seen that. I've got to put that one on my list. You have very good taste. Thanks for these answers. I'm just logging them in here. Great. Now, what is your favorite scary movie? Yeah, I would love to know. No, it doesn't have to be Halloween themed if your favorite isn't. I know. I feel like many of us like to watch scary movies this time of year regardless. Oh, wow, that is a scary one. I've never seen that. Would you recommend it? Got it. I see. I'll put that right in here. Alright, just bear with me one moment. I need to finish up this entry and then click onto the next section. It's just loading. Thank you for your patience. Lovely. Here we are. I have a whole candy basket full of questions for you. Do you live in an area where the weather changes for you this time of year? Oh, that's cool. Isn't it so interesting that weather can be so different even for people living in the same country? Autumn, also known as fall in North American English, is one of the 4 temperate seasons. Outside of the tropics, it marks the transition from summer to winter, when the duration of daylight becomes noticeably shorter and the temperature cools considerably. In the northern hemisphere, this happens in September, and in the southern hemisphere, this happens in March. So what's the weather like where you live right now? Oh yeah? That sounds so nice, actually. Do you have a different wardrobe for this time of year? Not just for temperature differences, but does your style change a little bit seasonally too? Oh, that's neat. Oh, I want to start doing that too. Alright, next question. What do you think about little wearable seasonal items like special holiday t-shirts or hats? Okay, cool. That's good to know. Thanks for giving such detailed answers. It really helps us out. Autumn is such a nice time of year, so I really actually enjoy getting to ask these kinds of questions and talk about it at length. It's one of my main interests. For so many of us, I think we associate September as kind of a special fresh start or like a new year kind of feeling. I know I still do. You too? I haven't been in school for a while, but I always think of September as the beginning of a new year in a kind of way. Do you think that way? Oh yeah? Why do you think that way? Oh, I see. Of course, yes. Yeah, I guess my brain just thinks of there being 2 New Years every year, which doesn't really make sense, but that's how I think of it. I think a part of me is just programmed to feel that way now. Yeah, it's muscle memory. Alrighty, so now we're really getting into the good questions. Have you ever carved a jack-o'-lantern out of a pumpkin? Now, do you think that that's just because of where you grew up, or general interest, or... Oh, okay, fascinating. For myself, I definitely carved some as a child. Yeah, but I think I got way more into it the older I got. It became like a fun artistic activity. Yeah, but I just like carving things in general. Kind of makes me wonder why we aren't carving all kinds of vegetables, eh? Yeah. We should carve more different vegetables. Do you think you might carve a pumpkin this year? Oh. Very in line with your other answer. Cheeky. Well, what would your dream subject to carve into a pumpkin be? Yeah, well, like, if you didn't have to do any of the actual carving work, unless you wanted to, I mean. If you could just blink and your pumpkin would be carved exactly as you dreamed it, what would you want the image to be? Wow. That sounds amazing. You have such an incredible imagination. Really, you do. Just amazing. So, speaking of pumpkins, do you drink pumpkin spice lattes? Do you like the trend of pumpkin spice foods and scents? Yeah, it's pretty much everywhere these days, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, I hear you. Absolutely agree. Interestingly, pumpkin pie spice was invented in 1934 by McCormick, a company that was selling the spice as a shortcut for flavoring the traditional harvest dessert. However, the cultural popularity started after Starbucks started releasing pumpkin spice lattes 17 years ago. I know. I can't believe it's been that long either. It's wild, right? Yeah, I'm sure you already know this, but just in case you don't, until 2015, pumpkin spice lattes didn't have any actual pumpkin flavoring. Personally, I like a chai latte with a little bit of pumpkin spice thrown in. Yeah, anything with clove and nutmeg, and I'm there, like any time of year. Now, I have a few more pumpkin-related questions. I hope I'm not gourding you. I mean, boring you. Have you ever made pumpkin soup? I've done it, mostly because I was cleaning the inside of the pumpkin out to make a jack-o'-lantern anyway. It seemed to make the most sense. And it's nice to not waste any part of the pumpkin. I usually pick up a little sweet potato and throw that in too. Okay, now we're moving on to a few general autumnal questions. Do you enjoy the nighttime? Some people really don't like it. For many of us, the nights are even longer this time of year, so it helps if you enjoy it. Do you like the smell of fall? I guess that can mean different things to different people. Kind of a subjective survey question, but what do you think? Sure, I can describe it. Well, to me, autumn nights are cool, but not freezing. Not too hot, not too cold. All you need is a light jacket. Yeah, just like in April. I always think about the smells. The smell of a wood stove fire, burning a little in the distance. Crisp, crunchy leaves. The way that they have kind of an earthy scent. Yeah. Do you like those smells? Alright, well, I'll log that in here. Oh, this is a neat question as well. It says, have you ever gone on a hayride? Okay, noted. How about a corn maze? Have you ever done one of those? Alright. You know, it's funny, corn is sometimes referred to as maize, spelled M-A-I-Z-E. So you could say it's a maze. Isn't that amazing? Well, corn maze is a fun autumn activity that some corn farms create. Well, corn grows very tall, taller than the average person's height. The plant is hard to see over. It's very densely planted. When the field of corn has been harvested for the year, farmers can cut down the corn in a pattern to create a maze. It's a fun puzzle to wander through and try to make your way out the other side. The first full-size corn maze is believed to be created in Annville, Pennsylvania in 1993. Does it sound familiar to you at all now? Yes, that's exactly it. Have you gone through one of those mazes before? Oh, fun. That's one way to do it for sure. Getting these all typed in for you. Thank you so much for the concise answers. I'm just loving chatting with you. Alright, next section here. Do you have any good trick-or-treat memories that stand out to you particularly? Oh, I'd love to hear. Yes, please. Yeah, I'm just getting it all in. Very cool. Where I live, we had to always plan our Halloween costumes around snowsuits, because usually you'd end up either wearing a snowsuit underneath your costume or on top of it. By that time of year, it was just a 50-50 chance of snow. Either way, it's usually a crispy cold night. We loved it though, didn't we? I feel like when we were kids, we were just impervious to cold chills. Yeah, it was all about having fun. Moving right along. Next question here. In your opinion, what makes for a better candy bucket? Plastic or cloth? Oh, I see. Strong opinions on this right out of the gate, huh? Did you ever use a pillowcase as a candy bag when you were young? I learned that trick. It was so cute, but you could hold a ton of candy in it, let me tell you. like this next question. Were you super serious about trick-or-treating as a kid? Or did you not really care? Got it. That tracks. Well, if you could go trick-or-treating now that you're a bit older, would you still go? Yeah, I wish I could. Doesn't seem like it's in the cards, though. Well, still. Maybe one day, you never know. Do you like to decorate your space for autumn? Like a harvesty style of decoration? Or how about this next question, Halloween decorations? Do you get into that sort of thing? That makes sense. This next question is, do you like fairy lights? Yeah, those are the little lights on a strand that you can hang up like garland. Yeah, they're pretty cute, aren't they? Some people hang them up only seasonally, but some folks keep them up all year round. Do you decorate with those? Oh, cool. How about candles? Do they make it into your decorating repertoire? Got it. I feel like Halloween can be super cute and kitschy, but also kind of spooky if you're into that kind of thing. Do you get scared easily? Oh, I bet. Yeah. Me too, to some extent. Certain things freak me out, other things I'm totally fine with. Do your friends like to do things to celebrate Halloween with you? Oh, I see. Interesting. Can you tell me a little more about that for our database? Sure. Yes. How about your family's Halloween celebrations? Is that kind of the same? Oh, interesting. How so? I see. Well, that leads me into my next question, actually. Are you someone who likes to start celebrating Halloween early? Or do you get annoyed when people start too early? Yeah. How do you feel about seeing decorations for sale at the end of summer? I know, right? Yes, this question usually gets a strong response. I'm loving your thoughts. Yeah, I'm getting them all down. I wouldn't miss a word. Oh, this is kind of a fun one. When you were growing up, did any of your teachers ever dress up for Halloween? Oh, really? Oh, that's great. Did you have a favorite that stands out in your mind? My mom used to always dress up like a witch to hand out candy when I was growing up. It was the same costume every year, but, why mess with the classic, right? Yeah. It was such a simple costume. Nobody really cares if you repeat it, if you ask me. Do you like enjoying the color of the leaves changing outside? Oh, have you experienced it? Oh, I see. Well, some of the best trees to watch change into autumn colors are maple trees, walnut trees, dogwood trees, aspen trees, and oak trees. Do you have a favorite kind of tree? Yeah, just off the top of your head. I guess it can be hard to think of. Still, any ringing a bell? Got it. Well, every tree that loses its leaves in autumn is called a deciduous tree. Deciduous trees lose their leaves in the fall and grow new leaves each spring. Each year, deciduous trees go through a process where their green leaves turn bright gold, yellow, orange, and red for a few weeks before turning brown and falling off. It's quite the sight to behold. I just love getting to see it. Do you like those kinds of colors in nature? That's so nice. Did you know that black cats are very lucky? Yeah. In many cultures, black cats are considered extremely lucky cats. English superstition says that giving a bride a black cat on her wedding day will bring her good luck in her marriage. And in fact, in Norse mythology, Freya, the goddess of fertility, beauty, and love, rides on a chariot pulled by 2 black cats. If farmers were to win favor with Freya, they had to leave bowls of milk for her companions in their fields. Freya would bless them with a good harvest. Do you love black cats? Oh, wonderful. I'm glad to hear it. So often we see black cats in Halloween imagery, but they really are such wonderful little buddies to have. A black cat will be your friend for life. Speaking of animals, this next question is rather interesting as well. Have you ever spotted an owl in a tree? Oh, wow. Yeah, are there any owls where you live? Oh, okay, I see. I've never seen one myself. I have seen a bat once, though. Have you ever encountered a bat? They're really neat. I just find them so cute, honestly. Well, that brings us to the end of our survey time. It was great getting to connect with you. And don't worry, I can be on the line with you anytime. I'm just a click away. I look forward to hearing from you again sometime. Thank you for choosing our special autumn edition Whisperland survey calls. We treasure our time with you because you are such a treasure. Have a wonderful evening.